Well, that was certainly Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to these right here are going to be some more raw thoughts. Oh yes they are, but first I've got some challenges for ye. Oh yes, 2 challenges for you, my viewer. I have 2 challenges. 1, if you've never heard one of my wonderful drum and bass mixes before, even if you think to yourself, man, I fucking hate drum and bass, I challenge thou to go and listen to my latest mix. Links down below. You don't have to, but hey, you might like it. It's just a thought. Speaking of things you might like, hell, how many times over the last 2 years have you heard me talk about FUTURESHOCK? I talk about FUTURESHOCK all the time, don't I? I have FUTURESHOCK posters here, and here, and here. Oh yes, love me some FUTURESHOCK, as we all know. Here's a challenge for you. You heard me talking about FUTURESHOCK, and you thought to yourself, I want to go and check out this FUTURESHOCK. What's he on about? Down below, in the description, there is a link to a full FUTURESHOCK show. A whole show. FUTURESHOCK International Super Show from summer 2012. Hell, it was filmed and recorded on my 30th birthday. If you look closely in some of the shots, you can see me on the 3rd row. Yeah, if nothing else, main event. Jack Gallagher, Davey Richards, one of the best matches ever. Go and give it a try. Let me know what you think. You will surprise you. You'll probably surprise yourself. Like, that's actually quite good. So, opening contest of Raw. Usos defeating Bray Wyatt, Daniel Bryan, by disqualification after about 5 minutes or so of pretty damn good action, to be honest, when both Harper and Rowan interfere. They beat down Jey Uso, I think it's Jey, I don't know, until they can escape, leaving the Wyatt family in the ring. Bryan's face at first is all like, why would you guys sort of leave me to get home like that? But he changes his mind. He wants to hug it out with Bray. Bray gives him a sister Abigail because he can. Because he can. Batista, next week. Oh, yes. The network, it will get my money. Guarantee. When it comes available in this country, I will get it. I'm happily willing to spend £6 a month on Netflix, and I do spank the fuck out of it. £10 a month is basically, if it goes like this, if it has all the old pay-per-views on it, like they say it will, I'm in. It's that simple. I will buy it. I will happily get it because I can watch pay-per-views on my Xbox, which is wonderful because at the moment, of course, I'm not having to do them on stream, you know, and it will make my life so much easier. So, say for example, in March this year, think about it, I'm going to have to do a WrestleMania 14 review, I'm going to have to do a WrestleMania 20 review, of course, and there's 2 shows that I don't, I mean, I've got them both on my laptop, it would be a lot nicer to watch than just there in on thing. My interesting thought about that, though, is, are they going to do, what's the crack, as the youth say today, don't they? What's the crack with the logos? Are they going to be blurred out, or are they going to be left original? Can anyone answer that one? Let me know down below. John Cena defeating Damien Sandow in a pretty damn fantastic match, actually. I enjoyed this one a lot. I liked how Sandow worked the right arm. AA's counted into an edge-o-matic, which is interesting. Sandow looks good against there. His real arch is a great looking move. Tornado DDT by Cena's nice. Sandow counters another AA into a nice looking face jammer. You don't see many of those. Gets to the ropes when Cena puts on an SCF and puts on a crossface, which is countered into the AA, gets the win. Sandow, great good stuff from both men. Cena celebrates with his father, who's in the front row. I'm sure nothing will happen to Jonathan Cena's father. Nothing at all. In the back, Brad Maddox suggested Kane that we have a rematch of the opening contest, but in a steel cage. And Kane's like, yeah, like that, but I think that the door should be chained shut. You're like, cool, why not? Big Show defeating Jack Swagger in a squash match with a chokeslam. Cesaro wants him, but wisely backs off into the crowd. So Show grabs Coulter, then Cesaro attacks, gets dumped outside, back to Zeb, and Zeb begging, and then Show sort of goes and punches him. It's weird. It's like I don't know, because half of me just goes, well, what did you need a cue as to what was coming? I don't know about that one at all. Wow, that went down really hard. Batista's coming. Did you know that? Did you know that next week Batista's coming back? The Shield defeating CM Punk and New Age Outlaws. Road Dogg says Flash Funk as part of his intro, because of course Funk rhymes with Punk. A few minutes later, Flash Funk is fucking trending on Twitter, which is both scary and wonderful all at once. Decent match, decent time length, 15 minutes this one. Reigns crotch chopping DX was funny. It allows Punk to hit a big kick. He goes to the hot tag because he's been owned, but there's no Outlaws because they bail. Punk holds his own against the Shield for exactly 3 moves, which of course is 1 each, but a spear from Reigns is enough to get the Shield the win. And then they go to leave, but Reigns wants some more, so they do the triple powerbomb. Why the fuck not? You know, it's one of those. It's one of those. AJ Lee and Tamina Snuka, who is the daughter of Tamina Snuka. Did you know that? She's a fucking beast as well. Defeating Naomi and Cameron, sorry, in a match that's so good, my notes read 1 line, 5 words, which are, yay, Emma's in the crowd. Because that made me smile. And you know, she's got a little sign and she's doing this for the 2 seconds that the camera's on her. Make an impression. Bam. She's like, Love Emma. She's fucking wonderful. In the back, Orton wants Steph and Triple H, but when he finds Kane, he's vexed about the Cena match. He's vexed about Brock Lesnar. He's vexed about Batista. Kane says tonight Orton has Kofi, which is lovely. And then our first Hall of Fame inductee for this year. Bloody hell, it's the Ultimate fucking Warrior. I'd love to know in the comment section down below what you think of this, because I'm properly torn. Ultimate Warrior is a big part of my childhood wrestling memories. I'll tell you something. Loud and proud, and you know, he's a larger-than-life character, and his promos made no sense. Thing is, I can think of 3 good matches off the top of my head that he had. The rest of them were pretty shit, weren't they? Because Hogan at WrestleMania, and Rick Rude at SummerSlam, and Randy Savage at WrestleMania. 3 good matches. Rest of his matches, shite. Majority of them, bollocks. You know, really not good. There's also 2 other thoughts here I'm interested in comments on. First one is I've seen on Twitter a couple of times today. I'm looking forward to hearing his induction speech, because, you know, he's been known for his strange speeches. You know, what was he said? Queering the world doesn't work. Queering doesn't make the world. Something like that, something like queering and making the world work. I don't know. But yeah, he's known for his infamous speeches, isn't he? You can just see that he'll just do a normal speech. I'm so confident of that. But here's the thing, who inducts him? Who inducts him into the Hall of Fame? Because I bet most people's reaction would be Hogan. Hogan's got to be the one, but I just can't see that one, especially, I mean, Hogan's the guy. Hogan seems like the natural choice because of WrestleMania 6, doesn't it? But at the same time, surely Hogan deliberately sabotaged the start of Warrior's reign by handing over the belt, and then went out of his way. You know, he had to get his win back in WCW. So I wouldn't say that Hogan would be the natural choice. How about yourselves? And then, in the back, the beautiful Renee is with Heyman, who calls so stupid for picking a fight with Lesnar. It's one thing to choke some swagger, it's one thing to punch a defenseless old man. He's not impressed. It's a different story when you face Lesnar. Oh yes, Kofi Kingston defeating Randy Orton. And I mean, I want to call this one a good match. It went 16 minutes, Kofi Kingston getting the win, but I just don't think this was anything special. This, for me, was the Randy Orton show, because Randy got 95% of the offense in the match. His facial mannerisms were absolutely fantastic. And I actually really enjoyed how frustrated he was getting that he couldn't put someone like Kofi Kingston away. But to be honest, Kofi in this one was a victim of the classic, well, what is now the classic WWE 50-50 booking, or the stop-start nature of a push. This isn't the start of a push for Kofi or anything like that. This was a fluke victory. You know, and the thing about this one is that every time Kofi did get some offense and tried to get the crowd going, no one believed that he'd win, so no one cared. So the crowd were mostly either silent, or at one point were chanting RKO, you know? It's weird. Drape and DDT, though, was counted into the SOS for the win. Orton snaps and attacks Cena. See, I told you, nothing had happened to him. And John Cena makes a save. Goldust and Cody defeating Ryback. King makes me smile, saying that the Rumble was the best hour-long match in the WWE year, to which I think to myself, but how many matches go over an hour in the WWE year? Not even the Money Bank matches don't. Elimination Chamber matches don't. Like, they don't have hour-long Iron matches anymore as a rule. No, shut up, King. Crowd are utterly dead for this one. There's the smattering of Goldberg chants for Ryback, but other than that. Oh, and the commentators talk about the Twitter rants that Ryback put up this weekend, which were quite hilarious, weren't they? Yeah, got released and shit like that. Crossroads, 6 minutes, gets the win. Batista, next week, fucking Batista, yes! Can't be the only one. Let me know in the comments. There's 3 things for you to comment about. Let me know in the comments if you would like Batista to become, or you wish that Batista was coming back as a heel, not a babyface. Can't be the only one. Alberto Del Rio defeating Rey Mysterio. Good working of the arm by Del Rio. It looked to me like Rey Mysterio injured his right hand, though, in the early goings. Hits the 619, goes up top, gets tripped, kicked in the head, cross arm breaker, gets the win. I like how the commentators brought up that it was Del Rio who injured Rey Mysterio's arm, you know, all that time, that time ago. So it's an interesting one. We get a recap about the network. Punk is in the back with Kane, who says the Authority aren't here. Punk is vexed about the New Age Outlaws, understandably. Kane says that Punk is in the Rumble match. Punk has no problem with that, but he does have a problem with Kane. Yay. And then we get a pretty sweet looking Usos video promo. Never seen anything like this before. You've got one Uso. I forget the names. I'm sure I'm told all the time, but I forget them. One Uso speaking in, I assume it's Samoan he's speaking. The other one speaking in English. And then they show half the faces on the show them saying the same thing together, and it keeps flicking between the two. It looks great. I've never seen anything like that before. It looked good. In the main event, the Usos defeating Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan in a pretty poor cage match. I thought this was a very nothing match. There was nothing really of substance in this one, and it wasn't helped out by the fact that the crowd were utterly flat. For the whole match, the crowd in this show for the last hour just didn't give a flying fuck. And then, in classic style, they've started doing this recently. I'm sure I picked up on this in vids before, where they will sit on their fucking hands for the majority of the match and then start chanting, "This is awesome." That doesn't make. Sister Abigail is counted into a super kick. Usos get the win after both escape, because after Bryan sort of shoves into Bray, they both fall down. The Usos are able to escape. That's fantastic, but that's not the point. That's not the point at all. We've got a win-win situation here, haven't we? Because Bray Wyatt is locked in the cage, because the door was locked, wasn't it, with Daniel Bryan. So it's either Bray batters Bryan or Bryan batters Bray, isn't it? And it looks at first like Bray's going to be the one. You know, he's shouting at Bryan, and Bryan's all, you know, he's prepared to, you know, kneel down again and take the Sister Abigail. But and he's saying, like, I love it. You know, Bray's saying, I love your attitude. You know, he's got a massive, great big smile on his face. He goes to do the Sister Abigail, and Bryan fucking counters it, and the place just goes absolutely fucking ballistic as Daniel Bryan just obliterates Bray Wyatt. Absolutely brilliant. Lays him with the yes kicks. Crowd go mental. Takes off that boiler suit he's been wearing, so it's just proper old school Daniel Bryan underneath it. Place goes mental. The knee that beats Cena in the corner, place goes mental. And they start, you know, he's leading the fans with the yes. And if that isn't the best, the piece de resistance, he gets on top of the cage, sits on top of the crowd, and just conducts the crowd chanting yes. And it's one of those, oh, just push him to the moon, please, for God's sake, please. Please, this was electric. This is one of those moments in wrestling where you watch it going, this is fantastic, and this is why we stick around with WWE and etc. etc. And there's going to be people out there going, look, why did they do this 2 weeks after Bryan joined the Wyatts? Yeah, it's an aborted stop to what was meant to be a long storyline. It's one of those times where you just go, fuck it, just enjoy it. Just enjoy this moment. Enjoy it for what it is what I say. Some people will moan. I'm sure that half the IWC. In fact, wouldn't be surprised at all if all the comments are saying, look, this was bullshit. But for the one moment, I actually enjoyed this. I enjoyed Cena versus Sandow. I enjoyed the 6-man tag. Orton versus Kofi wasn't very good, was it? There was very few skits in this one. Very few talking heads. No Triple H. It's always a good thing. The crowd a bit odd. You know, the last hour didn't really go for. The last 5 minutes, they were just gold. I don't care if people feel like panic with the angle. I just, it's one of those things I'm just not thinking about, is the truth. You know, I see Daniel Bryan join the Wyatt family, and yeah, there's outcry on the IWC, and I'm just sat there looking at it going, once again, just like it was after SummerSlam, just going, let's see where this goes. Let's just see where this goes. And once again, I'm probably going to be fucked over for that, but hey. Onwards to next week, where some guy is coming back and doing something. you know, it's one of those with Batista. I just don't care. I'm just not interested. What did you think of this week's Raw? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Will you give my mix a listen to? And will you watch Future Shock International Super Show? I'll be back on Thursday with an NXT review. I've been Mark P. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, and if you haven't seen it, I uploaded a vid yesterday, a D-Generation X pay-per-view review. Take it easy, guys.